Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the May monthly transit predictions report for all ascendant or the moon signs. A lot is happening in the month of May. Let's begin with Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs in terms of understanding what is the forecast for the month of May from an astrological point of view. I'm going to talk about the most important transits of the month and what you could expect, how some of these energy shifts are going to work, what are some of the highs and lows, and you can make the most in a very simple manner. There are a number of major planetary changes that are happening. Jupiter is going to be changing signs, entering Gemini on 14th of May. Rahu and Ketu are moving out from Pisces and Virgo and moving into Aquarius and Leo on 18th of May. Mercury is going to be spending time in three signs in this month. It's a very fast moving planet. Initially, for the first 1 week, it is in Pisces, then it is moving out of debility and entering Aries, where it will be conjoined Sun, forming a Buddha Aditya Yoga. And on 23rd of May, it will enter the friendly sign of Taurus. So, a lot of changes that are happening. So, let's begin with your Lagna Lord Mars, the ruler of your ascendant, yourself, your vitality, your immunity, and also your eighth Lord of transformation, suddenness in life, sudden ups and downs, secret places, dark places. Mars continues to make a transit in your fourth house in a debilitated state. So your decision making this month could be a little bit wavering. However, your ascendant has Sun making a transit in Aries, which is the exalted sign of Sun, being the fifth lord making a transit in your Lagna. Sun is supposed to be the significator or Karka of the Lagna. Mars is also the significator of the fourth house. So your first and fifth lords are making very positive transits in yoga. Though this Mars is weak, but this time period you could take some decisions related to your house. Particularly the first half of the month, your decision making is going to be very positive because this sun is under Shubh Yoga. Okay, because still Jupiter is going to be making a transit in Taurus till 14th of May. Venus is in the sign of Pisces, so Sun is definitely under Shubh Yoga during this time. And furthermore, Mars' transit in the fourth house is indicative of the fact that you have to do some decluttering exercise at your home. So, though you will not be very confident in terms of making decisions, but the first half of the month, from a vitality point of view, you must declutter your surroundings, declutter your house, and take some decisions pertaining to real estate that could be very much favorable for you. See, Sun is the significator that is there, so resources are going to be favoring. Second half of the month, Sun enters Taurus on 14th of May, and this is where it is going to be for the next 1 month. So, Sun is forming a Dhan Yoga or a wealth yoga for the second half of the month. So, your financial position could see some improvement, could see some development in case you're expecting any sort of incentive, any sort of increment. That could be a pretty good time for you. Spiritually, you would continue to build your practice, and this is something which I will advise. You should perhaps get involved with your partner for any spiritual pursuits, for any spiritual activities, or any such ventures, because Venus and Saturn continue to make a transit in your 12th house, conjoined with Rahu till 18th of May. Then Rahu is going to move in Aquarius. So your 6-12 axis for the first half of the month is pretty much active. So this could bring in fruitful foreign visits. You could change places as well over the next couple of months because Jupiter is going to be moving signs. It is making a transit third from your ascendant or the moon, and Jupiter is your ninth lord. So this will promote travel opportunities. This could make you shift places in case you are looking forward to it over the next couple of months. But the first half of the month, spiritually, it is very good. Resources are favorable. Thereafter, Rahu and Ketu are going to be activating your 11 and 5 cycle. So there has to be a lot of focus on your future because see, Ketu is isolation. So it is going to bring in some sort of uncertainty. Things are going to be very much heavy towards the second half of the month. So there could be a sense of uncertainty. Thankfully, last week of the month, Mercury is making a transit in your second house. So it is forming a Shubh Yoga on your ascendant. So most of the time, you still have some good protection, which is there. Avoid any kind of indulgence, avoid any kind of extravagance. You must give strength to your Lagna Lord Mars. Do mantras related to Mars, worship Lord Narsimha, or do a Narsimha mantra, or look up to Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu. This is something which you must do in order to protect yourself and sail through this transit. Jupiter's transit in the third house, of course, this is a shift. It will take some time for Jupiter to deliver results. But this time period wants you to be prepared for putting a lot more efforts, getting some sort of guru upadesh or blessings message from your mentor, your guru, your idol, your teacher. And this could probably bring in fruitful short as well as long distance journeys over the next couple of months. You can also shift places. So, good time for learning, good time to build your self confidence. And of course, second half could also bring in some financial gains with a pinch of uncertainty that you will have to deal with. Mantras will be very helpful to channelize the energies of this Ketu in a positive way. And I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Taurus ascendant and what's happening in the month of May. There are some key planetary transits. Your ascendant lord, Venus, continues to be in exalted position in your 11th house till the end of the month. So throughout the month, that is the position of Venus. Okay. Now thereafter, we could also perhaps say that your ascendant in the second half of the month is also under Shubh Yoga or auspicious yoga, right, for a week or so. But thereafter, Mercury will be entering your ascendant in the last week of the month, who is your fifth lord. So there are some very important transits. Jupiter is moving in your second house. Rahu and Ketu are going to be moving in your 10th and the fourth house. So major shifts are happening in the month of May for your preparation. Of course, most of these long transits will take its time. It will take some time, but this could create some sort of restlessness, some sort of energy shifts we must understand. Okay, so what is happening here? Firstly, let's talk about your Lagna Lord Venus. That is one planet you have to look up to in the month of May because when Lagna Lord is in strength, the Ascendant Lord is in strength and exalted in the 11th house along with Rahu as well as Saturn. And both of these planets do very well. Rahu is on the last leg of transit. It is about to move from the sign of Pisces. So this could bring in some sort of fruitful change from a financial standpoint. This could probably be a good trigger for you to look for new work related opportunities because that is something which is going to expand your 10th lords are Saturn as well as Rahu. Saturn making a transit in the 11th house, Rahu making a transit in the 10th house is a very clear message for you to try and step into bigger and better roles. And Venus is quite supportive throughout the month. Any mantras that you use pertaining to Venus, because this is making a connection with your fifth house, this will activate your 511 axis. So worship goddess Lakshmi. Use a simple mantra Om Lakshmi Nama or read Shri Suktam on a daily basis to channelize through this transit. Now, in case certain things are favorable for you, and depending on the place of Venus, you can also think of getting a gemstone related to Venus. But that is something which one has to be very careful of. So take the further, again, assessment and due consultation to make those decisions. Mercury initially is going to be moving in your 11th house for the first week. Then it will move to your 12th house for a few weeks. And this is where your fifth lord is making a transit in the 12th house. Mercury is also your second lord. It plays a very important role in wealth and finances. So, middle of the month, your expenses could increase. You could incur more expenses. You have to stay away from any kind of impulsiveness, impulsive buying decision. You would be probably not be thinking twice before spending your money. This is where you have to take control. Save as much as you can because this could really increase your expenses. So this is something which you have to be mindful of. Spiritually, you could have some shifting tendencies. This might bring certain inconsistency. Okay. Briefly, Mercury will be in a yoga with Sun, which is a Bodhaditya yoga. So, of course, you do have an opportunity to enhance yourself spiritually. Your father or some father figure might go out of the way to help you, to protect you. And momentarily, your ascendant will also be under Shubh Yoga or auspicious yoga. And this is where you have to perhaps make the most of it in order to make certain decisions. Okay, so this is what Mercury is bringing for you. And thereafter, Mercury is going to enter ascendant, forming a beautiful yoga along with Sun in the last week of May. So this is your time to learn, to upskill yourself. Any financial improvement that can happen would happen towards the end of the month. So you could probably time your finances accordingly. You can time some of your key decisions accordingly. Saturn continues to make a transit in your 11th house. The Saturn is now past 3 degrees. It has had like the deep conjunction with Rahu, the same degree conjunction. It has passed through it. So, of course, there have been intensity, but I would expect Saturn to give you mostly good results because Saturn is a Yoga Karaka, most favorable planet for you. Not a great time to make key decisions in the first half of the month pertaining to your work. Second half of the month, Sun is making a very favorable transit for you. Fourth Lord in the first house. Sun is also the significator. Jupiter is entering your second house, who's also the significator of the second house. So second half mostly would bring positivity and a sense of good judgment. And Mars will also be in its debilitated sign, but Mars is again the significator. So three of these planets are making transit in the house where they are significators. And last week, Mercury is the one who gains directional strength. So the end of May is quite crucial for you to take any important decisions, to take call of action with regards to yourself, your work, your life. And this is something where you could probably make the most of these energies. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini ascendants. What's happening with Gemini ascendants? Month of May, there are some prominent shifts that are happening, and I'm going to talk about most important planetary updates. Energies are very heavy. Major planetary shifts are happening in the month of May that will set a stepping stone for months to come, right? Firstly, your ascendant Lord Mercury is going to be crossing over three signs itself in the month of May. So three transits. Initially, it is still debilitated for the first few days in Pisces. Then it is going to move in Aries. So finally, your Lagna Lord is coming out of debility and it is going to be moving in your 11th house along with Sun, forming a beautiful Budh Aditya Yoga. So after the first week, you should be in a position to gain more confidence in terms of matters pertaining to yourself and your decision making. Any avenues that you're looking forward to in terms of having a gain, recognition, incentive could perhaps fructify in case your dasha antardasha is supportive. So this is around mid of May is a very important time period for you because this is also the time when you will welcome Jupiter in your ascendant, where it gains directional strength. And Sun continues to be in the first half of the month exalted in your 11th house. So do worship Surya Devata on a daily basis. The Mool mantra is Om Grini Dhata Aditya, because this is the name of the Aditya mapped to the sign of Aries. Venus, who's the Yoga Karaka, most favorable planet for you, has already moved direct, and now it is, of course, making this transit in your 10th house. Your fifth lord and 12th lord making a transit in the 12th house. Of course, you will spend a lot more energies at work. You would realize that you are spending a lot of time building relationships, building association, trying to take help of from other people. And this is where you should be investing your energies because Saturn's making a transit in the 11th, in the 10th house. It is going to create a sense of coldness initially, but the Saturn's now past 3 degrees. The intense conjunction of Rahu and Saturn is through, right? So Venus does want you to go out there, connect with people, spend your energies. 12th Lord is making a transit in 10th house. So your expenses should be in workplace relationship building, in influencing others, in trying to make the most from this meaningful connection. You need to continue to watch your speech, what you say, because Mars continues to be in your second house. Of course, it's debilitated. But this time period, just be careful and be soft to others. Think before you speak. Jupiter is going to be entering your ascendant. Please welcome Guru in gains directional strength. Your 10th Lord is making a transit here, right? So Mercury is gaining strength later this month. Of course, the last week, Mercury is going to enter your 12th house. So you have to be wary of your expenditure. But you will do expenditure on yourself and on your comforts. Fourth Lord is Mercury, the house of comfort and yourself. So last week of May and first week of June, your expenses are going to increase. Sun is also going to be there. So you're going to put more efforts, but this is a very good time from a spiritual standpoint. Any yogic practices that you do, yoga, sadhana, meditation, could really help you sail through this time. Rahu and Ketu are making the last leg of transit in the 10th and the 4th axis for you. And 18th of May, they're going to move in your 9th house and the 3rd house. So this is the time when your 3-9 axis is going to be active. So be prepared for going on journeys. This time period, the coming months, in case your dasha antardasha is supportive, can bring journeys. Fruitful or not so fruitful would depend on your ongoing dasha antardasha, but be prepared to travel around. In case things are favorable, this could be across the globe. This could be regionally as well. But quite certainly, if this is happening third from your ascendant or moon, or ninth from your ascendant and moon. And if they're connected to any of your dasha antardasha planets, this could definitely make you move places and be prepared for these journeys. There will be a sense of comfort at your home because Ketu is moving out from your fourth house. Of course, if it has continued to put in this uncomfortable position, now you'll focus a lot on your peace of mind, on your areas of interest, on mindfulness. So these are some of the pursuits that you must take. Remedy either Mercury, worship Lord Vishnu, or look up to Venus to, of course, give it more support. In this three planetary conjunction, Venus has a greater say. All right, so this is something which goes without saying. So this is definitely keeping things under control and make the most of building meaningful connections, meaningful relationship. It is the time period to present yourself in a manner that you are a trusted advisor to your colleagues, to people at work. Second half of the month, your ascendant is in uh, Pap Yoga. But there is Jupiter here because there's Sun on one side, there's Mars on the other side. So second half of the month, your decision making could be weak. Avoid any major decisions. In case it's very important, do take it in case it's for your progress, right? But avoid any major decisions. Focus more on spirituality because the energies have just shifted. So you could be under illusion. You could be low on confidence. So wait for the right time to make these decisions. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Cancer ascendants. What's happening with Cancer ascendant or the moon signs in the month of May, where there are some major planetary updates and shifts that are happening. Jupiter is changing signs, who's your ninth lord. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. They're entering your eighth house and the second house axis, moving away now from the ninth and the third, which would have created some sort of discomfort in the last few months. Sun continues to be in exalted state for the first half, then it is going to enter your 11th house and Mercury will join Sun in the last week, and Jupiter is going to be entering your 12th house mid of May. So embrace spirituality. Let's begin with Mars, Mangal, who's an important planet for you because it's a Yoga Karaka. It rules one Kendra house, which is your fourth house, and it rules the 10th house. And Mars continues to make a transit in your ascendant. So, firstly, is the fifth lord in the ascendant making a yoga, 10th lord in the ascendant making a yoga. Though this Mars is debilitated, which means that any remedies that you need to perform, that you need to do in the month of May should be related to Mars if you were to sail through this time, if you were to be successful at work and for your future as well. Because particularly first half of the month, Sun is making a transit in your 10th house. Mercury will join Sun. Mercury gains Mercury is the significator of the 10th house. So, of course, that's positive. Sun gains directional strength. So, things at workplace resources are going to be favorable. And your 10th lord is making a transit in the ascendant itself. So, this is forming a couple of nice yogas for you. So, any important decision pertaining to your work, pertaining to your job, the nature of business, you can very well, with utmost confidence, take in the first half of the month. Fortune also favors because there is a benefic Venus making a transit in your ninth house. So this is something which will favor you. You definitely have to go through some relationship karma in the first half of the month. There's Venus, Rahu, and Saturn, three planetary conjunction that continues, which is in its last phase. And quite certainly, Rahu and Saturn have had a very close degree conjunction. Rahu is your co-eighth lord. Saturn is your seventh lord. So, of course, there's some relationship conflict, there's some relationship karma. Keep your ego aside and try not to be authoritative, not to be aggressive, and listen to your partner and try to build cordial relationship. Thereafter, your second lord sun is going to enter your 11th house for the next 1 month, mid of May, which is forming a nice dhan yoga or wealth yoga. So, of course, you could expect some incentive, some increment, or some financial gains in case your dasha and the dasha is supportive. So, this is where you have to be watching out for. Jupiter is entering your 12th house. So, in case you work with people from other cultures, multinationals, in case you have some plans for making a movement in the coming months, you could start preparing for it in case your dasha is supportive. Jupiter is the one who rules your sixth house and the ninth house, and is making a transit in the 12th house of expenditure, foreign lands, losses, your higher self consciousness, your ability to give and donate. So you're going to become quite philanthropic in the coming months. So you would be of giving nature. You would like to donate and help others. Give, spend on dharma. spend on your religion, what you believe in, because your ninth lord is making a transit into 12th house. So that's the best way of channelizing these energies in the most positive manner. This is what you must do. See, last week of the month, Sun and your 11th house is under a nice yoga, right? So this is where you have to perhaps channelize some of these energies and expect certain gains. Now, Rahu and Ketu are going to be moving in your eighth and the second house. So momentarily, it will cause some sort of instability, illusion, and also some sort of uncertainty pertaining to your finances. Because when Ketu makes a transit in the second house, it's a very non-materialistic graha, so it will make you very grounded. It will make you worry less about the money, the finances. But then you can have shifting tendencies. You could probably, because this house represents your speech, what you eat, what you consume. Something is coming to an end. So either you're going to change your diet or your lifestyle. And these are two things which you have to be very mindful of in the coming months. This is an opportunity for you to fix your lifestyle, to change your habits, to adopt good habits and give up on any of the bad habits that you've had. Stay away from any kind of indulgence. If you hide things that could be detrimental towards your relationship, in case that will depend on your dasha antardasha. So this is where you have to be careful of. Remedy Mars, worship Lord Hanuman, use mantras related to Mars to give it further strength. And most importantly, stay active all through the day. This is the best way to channelize your Mars because the energies are such, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Leo ascendant. What's happening in the month of May, where there are major planetary shifts and changes. Jupiter is changing signs. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. Mercury is going to move through three different signs. Sun is changing signs. From your ninth house, it will enter your 10th house. Venus and Saturn continue to be conjoined in your 8th house, where Venus is exalted. Mars continues to be debilitated in the 12th house, which is also causing cancellation of debility. So, what can we expect in the month of May? So, there are a number of planets that will make a transit in your quadrant houses, Kendra houses. So, your decision making will be at test because there is going to be certain illusion as well. So, first half of the month, if we talk about your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, throughout the month, one thing that is most comfortable for you, in spite of any uncertainty, is the strength of Sun. Firstly, it's in the ninth house. Sun is also the significator of the ninth house. It is forming a yoga because Lagna Lord going into the ninth house. Secondly, it's exalted. It's in a great dignity. It is furthermore under Shubh Yoga, auspicious yoga, because Jupiter will be here in your 10th house. Venus is here in the 8th house. So first half of the month, your decision making is going to be quite prominent, quite positive, in spite of any uncertainty. Second half of the month, Sun enters your 10th house where it gains directional strength. So there are blessings of Lord Shiva, blessings of Devtas during this time. So you could make some very important decisions related to your work, your profession, or your business. You could momentarily face some authority issues, issues from leadership, issues from government, but you will learn how to deal with these issues over the course of time. Last week of the month could be excellent. Last week of May, first week of June could be excellent to learn anything related to your work because Sun and Mercury, they are forming a Buddha Aditya yoga in your 10th house. And this yoga works very well in the fifth house, in the first house, in the fifth house, and in the 10th house. So this is where you need to maximize your learning. Anything that you learn around this time, last week of May, first week of June, could really go a long way in terms of ensuring that you're successful. And first 2 weeks, Jupiter is going to be here in your 10th house. So it's an opportunity to continue to ensure that your wisdom is at work. Again, some important decision you could take throughout the month. And then Jupiter, which is your fifth lord, and your eighth lord is going to enter your 11th house. And this is a nice transit of Jupiter because Jupiter is your fifth lord, one of the most important planets. It rules future for you. It rules progress, mantras. Any mantras that you will use over the next 1 year, not only the second half of the month, would be very beneficial for you. And you must channelize your Jupiter. Use a simple Shiva mantra, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya, to ensure that you channelize the energies of this Jupiter. And this will also ensure that Jupiter keeps Rahu at check. And Rahu is going to enter your seventh house on 18th of May. This is where Rahu gains directional strength. So it will give you expansive tendencies in terms of business. It will bring in expansion in relationship. But this is where you have to be careful of, because you could have shifting tendencies. There is some karmas that you would deal with regards to your relationship and yourself, because your 7 and 1 axis is going to be active for the next few months. Though Rahu does very well here, and Jupiter is going to keep Rahu in check. So for you, the ultimate remedy is Jupiter. You need to have some spiritual discipline, spiritual focus, because Mars continues to make a debilitated transit in your 12th house. Venus and Saturn will be conjoined in your 8th house. And Mars is your ninth lord. So spend on dharma. If your expenses have increased, if you spend on right deeds, your family, go to temples, donate in places of worship, whoever you believe in. This is what your path needs to be. And this is something which will help channelize the energies of Mars. And Venus and Saturn will work well if you embrace spirituality. See, Saturn is a significator of the 8th house. Jupiter is the significator of the 11th house. Mercury is the significator of the 10th house. So you could expect positive results of 8th house, which is transformation will come with a lot of hard work, but eventually it will make you strong. It will make you a hard nut to crack. Your work demands attention, a lot of communication. Even initially, there will be leadership issues, authority issues, but you will probably be strengthening your leadership potential and ability. And Jupiter will, of course, bring more opportunities for gain, additional sources of income, an improvement in your financial position, doing some sort of financial management as well. That is most important and the need of the hour. And remedy for you is Jupiter. Look up to him, and may you have a blessed month of May. Now let us talk about Virgo ascendants. What's happening with Virgo ascendants? Month of May, where there are some prominent planetary shifts that are happening. Jupiter is changing signs, entering in Gemini. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. Mercury is going to be moving through three different signs. Sun is going to move out from your 8th house and enter your 9th house, where it is supposed to be the significator of the 9th house. So prominent shifts are happening. This could create some sort of restless energies, but you have to stay put. You have to stay calm. Firstly, let's talk about your Lord of the Ascendant, who is Mercury. Initially, it continues its last leg of transit in Pisces. Then the Mercury is moving out of debility and entering your 8th house. Mercury is a natural benefic and also your Lagna Lord. It does very well in the 8th house, so it could give you research capabilities in the middle of the month. This could be an excellent time to learn Jyotish, pick up astrology, because you have a Buddha Aditya Yoga in your 8th house. Sun is making a transit, who's your 12th lord. Sun is forming a Viparit Yoga. Circumstances, situation could go adverse. Eventually, you will rise. So, any knowledge related to research, related to astrology, Jyotish, any occult or related subjects could be very good for you to ensure that you channelize these energies appropriately. Thereafter, last week, Mercury is going to be entering your 9th house, where it forms a nice, beautiful yoga. So you could expect mostly positive results coming your way from the end of May onwards, right? So May, June looks quite promising, because Mercury and Saturn now are forming a Buddha Aditya Yoga in your 9th house. Higher learning, higher education. If you have pursuits of higher education, that could be favorable in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Both Mercury and Sun are activating your 3-9 axis. This could bring in journeys, travel, spiritual visits, spiritual retreats, or fruitful work related journeys. Leadership potential, because Mercury is also your 10th lord and making a transit in the 9th house, conjoined 12th lord Sun. So it could bring foreign visits. It could probably make you interact with people with authority who come from a different culture, different background, who speak a different language, who live in a different part of the world. So build those connections, meaningful connections. First half of the month, Jupiter continues to make a transit in your 9th house. Thereafter, your 7th lord and the 4th lord is going to be moving in your 10th house. Jupiter is also one of the significator of the 10th house, because he rules knowledge at work, wisdom at work, your experience at work. There are two benefics in your Kendras, and there are going to be three malefics in your Kendras as well. So pretty much balanced energies. But Venus, who is the Yoga Karaka, most favorable planet for you, because it rules your 2nd house and your 9th house. Venus becomes your Bhagyesh. 9th Lord in the 7th house and exalted is forming a yoga. Second Lord in the 7th house again gives you a financial yoga related to your business. So if you have a business, you could expect some profits. Your partner can have some gains. You have certainly some relationship karma during this month. In case you're looking forward to getting married, finding a match, things could work out in your favor because the deep conjunction of Saturn Rahu is over. Saturn's past 3 degrees, and Saturn really strengthens the seventh house because this Shani here gains directional strength. Okay, he is Digbali. So this will of course help you make some key decisions related to your seventh house. Okay, so this is where you could expect mostly good results in matters pertaining to Saturn because he's the one who gains directional strength here. So it will bring in stability in your relationship. It will bring in some sort of karmic efforts. It will make you be more committed and disciplined towards your partner. And this is something which is a prominent transit for you, and I would expect. Rahu and Ketu are moving out of your seventh house and the ascendant. Ketu would have brought in a lot of isolation. Now Ketu is moving to the 12th house, where Ketu is also the significator of the 12th house of moksha, liberation. Rahu does very well in the sixth house. So I expect this start to be a little bit uncomfortable for you. But at the spiritual front, it is very good. This year could bring in very fruitful foreign journeys, visits. It could expand your spiritual horizon. So do a lot of spiritual practices. Rahu is going to bring in growth opportunities. It will help you defeat your enemies because Rahu likes Mercury, who's your Lagna Lord. And Rahu's transit in the sixth house is very important because one, it is the co-sixth Lord. Saturn, who's also the ruler of Aquarius, that this planet is gaining directional strength. So you will overcome your enemies, you will defeat your enemies, you will come out of any competition as victorious. The initial ride will be a little bit uncertain or a bit of illusions. Second half, I do expect you to make some prominent decisions, some very well thought over decisions, and start embracing spiritual practices. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendants. What's happening with Libra ascendants? As far as month of May is concerned, where there are prominent planetary shifts that are happening, Jupiter is changing signs. Sun is going to be moving out of its exaltation in Aries and then in Taurus. Mercury, who's your ninth lord, is going to be going through three different signs. Initially, Pisces for the first few days, then Aries in your seventh house, and then last week it will be in Taurus in your eighth house. Mars continues to make a debilitated transit in your 10th house, though Mars gains directional strength or is Digbali in the 10th house, and Venus continues to be exalted, though Maran Karaka transit or like a death like position. So, one thing that you have to be careful, mindful of the month of May is your decision making. Because when Ascendant Lord goes into the sixth house, and particularly when Venus is Maran Karak, it loses its signification. So, you could have some relationship issues with other people. You could attract opposition. You could attract enemies. So, you have to be just careful of other people till Venus, Saturn, and Rahu are together for the first half of the month. Though, second half of the month, I do see some progressive movements, especially towards the end of the month, because this is where your seventh house will be under Shubh Yoga, which will foster relationship. So the first 20 22 days, you have to be careful and protect your relationship and don't take any hasty decisions. So don't get into a reactive kind of a mode. Hold on, demonstrate resilience, patience, wait. Do not say something that could be detrimental towards your relationship. Though this Venus will support any journeys, will support spiritual practices. Considering Ketu is also in the first half, continues in your 12th house, and your 6-12 axis is pretty active. So you must engage yourself in spiritual practices. Second half, I do expect things to get significantly better, where you must welcome Jupiter in your ninth house, and he is the significator, the primary significator of Dharma, of fortune in your ninth house. And this transit is quite promising. This could be the start of journeys, travel, because Jupiter is also the third lord and the sixth lord for you. And it will perhaps protect your dharma, be the messenger of your dharma. Workplace scenario will continue to ensure if you spend enough energies at your workplace, success is guaranteed because Mars gains directional strength. It is like a warrior at work. Momentarily, it has gone weak because of its dignity. Sun is also not very strong in the seventh house. It is the western direction. Mercury is also not very strong. So the first half of the month, you have to be slightly careful. But second half, I do expect things to significantly improve. Mercury will move in the last week in your eighth house, where Mercury does well in this house. It is conjoined Sun. You could spend a lot of time in research in certain subjects, learn occult, learn astrology. Ketu is going to be moving out of your 12th house and entering your 11th house. So I would expect Ketu to also do well. It's your co-second lord. So this Ketu, on contrary to what others say, is actually giving you a dhan yoga, wealth yoga. I would expect in the Rahu Ketu axis change, your financial position to have a significant improvement in the coming months. If you take some good decisions within May or June, that is going to be the deciding factor for you in terms of your work, in terms of where you stand, in terms of how you would like to channelize some of these energies. You must do remedy related to Venus. Read Sri Suktam on a daily basis. Venus needs a lot of strength. You must do remedies related to Saturn because Rahu is going to be making a transit in your fifth house. Use the Mool mantra of Shani, that is Om Sham, and demonstrate work, discipline in your daily life. This time period calls for some decluttering of your daily life, some changes in your lifestyle, something that has to come to an end, what you have been doing. And you need to embrace new good habits. You need to let go some of the negative people in your life and embrace new connections, meaningful connections, and value those people who stand for you, who stand with you, and who have won your trust, who you count. This is the kind of energy that you have to deal with through the month of May, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Scorpio ascendants. So what's happening with Scorpio ascendants? Month of May, where there are major planetary shifts that are happening. Jupiter is moving away from his seventh house and now entering eighth house. Jupiter is your ninth lord. Mid of May, it will make this transit. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs. They're moving out of your 5-11 axis and now going in your 4 and 10 axis. Time to step out of your comfort zone and go out there in the open. Venus continues its exalted transit in your fifth house, which is quite favorable for your partner, for your spouse. Sun is going to move out from your sixth house mid of the month and enter your seventh house. And then Mercury is going to join Sun. Let's begin with Mars, your lord of the ascendant, who rules your Lagna, and also your sixth lord, who continues to be in your ninth house in its debilitated transit. Though Mars is forming a yoga during this time because it's your Lagna lord, lord of the ascendant, making a transit in your ninth house that continues to form a yoga. But the clear message is that you have to protect your dharma. You have to protect what you believe in. You must have some sort of guru upadesh or blessings message of your mentor, someone who you look up to. You need some guidance because if you get the right kind of guidance, you will make some of the best decisions for yourself. You must remedy Mars. Since it's in your ninth house, in order to protect your dharma or fortune, either you do mantra related to Mars or Jupiter, who's your fifth lord, because Jupiter is also going to be changing signs. So this is a way you'll be able to elevate your bhagya, your fortune. Or if you have any troubled times, look up to Lord Krishna because he is associated to Moon, who is the ruler of your ninth house. This is how you will be able to embrace positivity. If you protect your dharma, if you go on spiritual travel, spiritual retreat, if you try to increase your spiritual practice, you will have a sense of mindfulness in your life. Now let's talk about your 10th Lord Sun, who continues to make a transit in your sixth house in the exalted state. Sun is considered to be good in the sixth house. It will be joined by Mercury. So there's going to be a Buddhaditi yoga in your sixth house. This time period is a great opportunity for you to increase your IQ, to build your intelligence, because we see intelligence from the sixth house. And anything that you learn with regards to your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis would help you. How you can overcome competition, because you will encounter competition at work. You will encounter some opposition. You could have some authority issues, issues with leadership. These are some of the things which you have to navigate. Later, Sun is going to enter your seventh house along with Mercury. Second half of the month, towards the end of the May, early June, you definitely have relationship karma. You will have ego issues, authority issues. You could have shifting tendencies in terms of communication. So please protect your relationship. Remedy Jupiter. Thankfully, Venus is in exalted state in your fifth house. So it will keep the love quotient and interest at a higher side. Jupiter will ensure that you become more spiritual here. While it enters your eighth house, it is protecting you from any uncertainty. It is also expanding your research capability. And fifth lord in the eighth house, you will use your knowledge to do a lot of research, learn astrology, Jyotish, any similar subjects. You have a huge opportunity to excel. Rahu and Ketu finally are moving out of your 5 and 11 axis. Rahu is not very auspicious in the fifth house. It does create a sense of discomfort. Now is going to be entering in your fourth house. Ketu is going to enter in your 10th house. Ketu will definitely support work related progress because Ketu is the co-Lagna lord in your case, making a transit in your 10th house. So expect mostly favorable results pertaining to your work. In case you have well disposed sun in your chart, any remedies to support your workplace progress must come from sun or Mars during this time. These are the planets that you have to strengthen. Use mantras, consume food items related to these two grahas, and of course, give them more strength in any manner that you can. This time period marks a situation for you that you have to step out of your comfort zone. Not a great time to make some important decisions in your life, especially when it is about relationship. Stay low key. Wait for some of the things to change. Second half later this month, you will start feeling better because even from your relationship point of view, when Jupiter moves in the eighth house, it does bring in more fulfillment when it comes to relationship matter, right? Because this is second from your seventh house. This is something which you must remember. Now you have to do some financial management, so better you plan now. How are you going to save? Where are you going to invest? And any remedies that you do, I have already shared either Sun or Mars for you in order to sail through, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius ascendant and what's happening in the month of May, where there are major planetary shifts. Jupiter, your Lagna Lord, is changing signs. It is going to be entering your seventh house mid of May. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs on 18th of May. Venus continues to be in exalted state in your fourth house along with Saturn. And for the first half of the month, there's a three planetary conjunction in your fourth house, which will ensure that you stay out of your comfort zone. Your ninth Lord Sun continues to be in an exalted transit in the first half of the month. And then mid of May, Sun enters your sixth house. So most of May, Sun and Mercury will be conjoined firstly in your fifth house, the first half of the month. If you begin with your ninth lord, Sun, who's your Bhagyesha, Lord of Fortune, Sun rules long distance journeys for you, higher education, spiritual education, making a transit in your fifth house. It will be joined by Mercury, and both of them form a beautiful Budh Aditya Yoga. Mercury is also your 10th lord. Mercury is also the lord of obstacles. So, any remedy for you throughout the month of May has to come from Sun. Worship Surya Devata, worship the fire god, give water to Sun, offer Arga on a daily basis, right? You can use some grass, you can put some grass in the water and offer it on a daily basis to Sun in order to sail through these energies. Use Surya Mantra to worship the Sun God in order to sail through this time. This Buddhaditya Yoga is giving you huge prospects for education, for creative gains, creative pursuits, positional success in case your Dasha and the Dasha is supportive at workplace. You will get support of authority. You will get support from your subordinates as well if you communicate with them. Communicate with authority, but not being aggressive, but being assertive. So have a good balance between task and relationship when it comes to dealing with others. Jupiter, your Lord of the Ascendant, is moving out of your sixth house and now it is going to be entering your seventh house. Jupiter is not considered very strong in the seventh house because Jupiter gains directional strength here. So, this is the house where it is losing direction. So, next few months, you will have to probably look up to some of the other prominent planets. You have to be careful of your decision making. So, you need support of your spouse, especially when Lagna Lord goes into the seventh house. It of course open avenues for relationship, but this could be little bit detrimental towards relationship as well because it gives many relationship. So this is where you have to be careful in terms of making any decisions. In case you're looking to establish yourself in a new relationship, be careful of your decision. Look at all the pros and cons because you will have a tendency to make wrong choices, pick up wrong people. right? And realize from your mistakes, from your experience. Though there are some protection because Jupiter will aspect your ascendant. So this way, it will protect you from any major turbulence when it comes to from an emotional standpoint. Jupiter aspecting your ascendant also is a signal that you have to take care of your health, take care of your what you eat, what you consume, because you could probably put on weight. You will have the tendency. First half of the month, you will continue to stay and step out of your comfort zone. Thereafter, Rahu and Ketu are making a transit in your 3 and 9 axis. Rahu is pretty good in the third house. It will bring in journeys. It could help you shift places. So, over the next few months, you could move, you could go on journeys, you could shift your residence in case your Dasha and the Dasha is aligned. Ketu is not very good in the ninth house because it could deviate you from your path of righteousness, from your dharma. It is like a cut. This is where, again, most important for you to remedy Surya, Sun, because Ketu is making a transit in the sign of Sun. And this is how you'll be able to protect your dharma. Mars, who's your fifth lord, and your 12th lord, an important planet because it rules the house of future, the house of progress, continues to make a debilitated transit in your eighth house. This Mars is getting Nichbhanga or cancellation of debility. Though you will be very grounded, you will be very humble and respectful towards other people, but this could probably increase your expenditure on unnecessary things, irrelevant efforts or more efforts, and you don't see the outcome, but continue to put in efforts. Mars eventually will move in Leo in the next couple of months, and this is where it will support to put a lot of focus back on Dharma, back on Bhagya. It will give you foreign visits. It could help you settle outside of your home country as well in case you have a plan. Especially this month could be quite instrumental to make any decisions related to your shift, related to shifting, related to this movement in case it is aligned with your Dasha Antardasha. Please remedy Sun, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Capricorn ascendants and what's happening in the month of May, where there are major planetary shifts that are happening. It is the month of a little bit of restless energies because when these shifts happen, it takes some time for these planets to deliver results to its optimum capacity. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs on 18th of May. Jupiter is moving to Gemini on 14th of May. Sun, who would continue to make a transit in your fourth house in its exalted sign of Aries, will enter your fifth house mid of May. Mercury, who's your ninth lord, will be going through three different signs this month. Firstly, your third house, where it will be debilitated for the first few days. Then it moves to your fourth house, out of its debility, finally. And then to your fifth house, forming a nice, beautiful yoga most of the part of this month. And this is the planet that we'd like to start with Mercury, who rules your ninth house. And Mercury is also the ruler of your sixth house. This Mercury will move in the fourth house. Fourth house Mercury is not considered very strong. It will be conjoined with Sun. So it is forming a nice Budh Aditya yoga. Even Sun is considered weak in the fourth house. So resources could be a little bit challenging for you between 7th of May till about 22nd of May. So this is one time, but this could be an excellent time to build your fundamentals. CBC primary education from the fourth house. So this could put your focus on your values, your ethics. You will probably look back at your value system. You will build your fundamentals in terms of things that you do. You have to protect your dharma because you could deviate from the path of righteousness. You would want to be in a comfortable position, but situation wants you to step out of your comfort zone. You're likely to take some important decisions pertaining to your workplace because these two planets are aspecting your 10th house and they desire learning, upskilling at work. So pick up a skill or two, learn to transform yourself from a work standpoint if you were to improve the environment at work. So this should be your priority in the first half of the month. Talking about Venus, who's your fifth lord and also the 10th lord, the Yoga Karaka planet for you. One triangle house, one Kendra house. Venus continues to be exalted in your third house. Though third house, Venus gives high desires. So you will have big dreams, bigger things to achieve. You will probably be having multiple thoughts in your mind, especially for Capricorn moon signs who've ended their Saraswati as well. You would have to probably be very positive and you will have a number of things going on in your mind. But you have to stick to have some sort of clarity in terms of what are those things that you wish to achieve and how you will channelize these high sense of desires. This is where you can journal. First half of the month, Venus, Saturn, and Rahu continue to be in a third house that represents your hands. So journal about relationship, journal about your work, journal about your better future, and be grateful of the things that you have. Write about gratitude because Venus is Shukra, who is gratitude himself, and help you. This will help you channelize these decisions. This time period could bring in a positive work change or a change of your job location. In case you're looking forward to moving your location, this time period could be favorable for you. Later, Sun is going to be moving in your fifth house along with Mercury, and they continue to form a nice, beautiful Buddha Aditya Yoga. Any progression, any development that you're looking forward to having in terms of your bhagya, in terms of your fortune, in terms of your finances. Second half of the month is quite appropriate for you, quite positive for you. You have to be careful of your speech. You have to protect your relationship because Mars continues to be debilitated in the seventh house. Your partner can go out of the way to help you, to protect you. So make sure that you reach out to them. They could suffer, but yes, you have to protect your partner as well. Rahu and Ketu are making big shifts now in your 2 and 8 axis. Initially, it will cause a sense of uncertainty. Avoid major spending decision, any decisions pertaining to your finances in the second half of the month. This is where you have to plan for long-term savings. Manage your finances. Learn better ways of financial management and worship Lord Sun, Surya, because Surya is making a transit in the fifth house. Mercury is also going to be making a transit in the fifth house. So worship Lord Vishnu. Use the Surya mantra or a Vishnu mantra in order to channelize this Ketu in your eighth house accordingly. So more spiritual you become, the better you will be able to channelize these energies. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius ascendants month of May, where there are prominent planetary shifts and movements that are happening, and what are some of the things that you have to take care of. What are some of the time periods which are quite prominent for you to make some important decisions because number of planets are changing signs. Rahu and Ketu are moving out of your 2-8 axis, and on 18th of May, entering your 1-7 axis, Rahu is entering your ascendant, being your co-ascendant lord, bringing some nice energies of expansion, and Ketu is entering your 7th house. And of course, your 1-7 axis, which is yourself and your relationship, is going to be the focus of the hour. So, depending on the natal placement of Rahu and Ketu, and of course, their dispositor, we can have further assessment. Your Lagna Lord Saturn continues to make a transit in the second house, and the deep conjunction of Saturn and Rahu is going to be over. Saturn is going to be past 3 degrees. It will now start delivering results, and this is conjoined Venus, who's your co-ninth, who's the ninth lord, your Bhagesh, and also your fourth lord. So Venus is a yoga karaka for you. So second half of the month is quite prominent when it comes to financial gains, when it comes to an improvement in your financial position, wealth, new ways of income, your speech, your eating habits, all of these things are going to be the focus of the hour. There are multiple dhan yogas, wealth yogas that are getting activated. More so, Jupiter is also entering your fifth house. Jupiter is the significator of the fifth house, which is also giving you a dhan yoga. Mercury, who rules your fifth house, the fifth lord, is making a transit in your third house initially, along with Sun, forming a Bodhatitya Yoga in case you're changing your residence. Making a shift, this could be positive for you, depending on your ongoing Dasha Antardasha. Change is inevitable. Mercury is going to expand your communication. Sun is going to bring in a sense of leadership potential. See, Sun is your seventh lord, making a transit in the third house. This could be positive for your spouse, for your partner, any change that they go through the first half of the month. Okay. Now, second half, Sun and Mercury are going to be conjoined in the fourth house, again forming a Buddhaditya Yoga, but both of their position or placement is not very strong when it comes to the fourth house because Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. This is where it is losing direction. Mercury is also the significator of the 10th house. It is not considered very strong in the 4th house. So, of course, you'll have to step out of your comfort zone second half of the month and avoid any major decisions around that time. particularly when you have the initial shift of Rahu and Ketu, it does bring in a lot of illusion. So, later part of May, just relax, be mindful of the situation, try to spend time out there in the nature, connect with people, go out there, socialize. I mean, these are some of the things, or probably do something or the other to keep yourself busy because your mind could have a lot of thoughts, a lot of thinking that could be going on in terms of how you can expand. You might have a lot of ideas. I can do this. No, I can do that. But you will have lack of clarity in terms of what is that you should be doing. So give yourself that time. Take it slow. Take a break. Take a pause. That is very important for you. Since Jupiter is making a transit in your fifth house, that is mostly positive from a financial point of view because Jupiter is your second and the 11th lord. It is giving you multiple dhan yogas. Any mantras that you use, that is going to bring favors for you. Saturn and Venus are making a transit in the second house. So either use Mool mantra of Shani, that is Om Sham, or worship goddess Lakshmi, a simple Lakshmi mantra that is Om Lakshmi Nama, or read Sri Suktam on a daily basis. This is how you have to channelize these energies to get a sense of direction in terms of what the outlook looks like for you. See, you need to understand that any important decisions you could take, first half of the month is quite favorable. Second half, you must avoid any major decisions. Mars continues to be in your sixth house in the debilitated state. Your 10th lord is debilitated in the sixth house. Though it is getting Neech Bhanga, situation at workplace could be little bit uncomfortable. You could have issues, you could have opposition that you're dealing with, you can have authority issues. But gradually, this could be a stepping stone for change, for starting something new, a new job. You have to focus a lot on your daily life. If you bring in a sense of energy, workout, exercise, go out there for a walk or a run, this is how you will be able to channelize this Mars positively, and also some of the other prominent planetary shifts that are happening. So stay active all through the time. This is the most important and vital tip for you in the month of May, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces month of May, where there are some prominent planetary shifts that are happening, some of the changes that you could expect, what you should be doing in order to navigate through, in order to sail through some of these energies. Rahu and Ketu are changing signs, entering Aquarius and Leo on 18th of May. Jupiter, who's Lord of your ascendant, is changing signs on 14th of May, entering your fourth house, moving out finally from its Maran Karak position. So, welcome Jupiter in your fourth house, and hopefully, this will give you very good decision making capability and a sense of practicing mindfulness, lots of good spiritual practices, and an ear to pursue personal interest, your hobbies. Venus continues to make a transit in your ascendant in its exalted sign. So, of course, a lot of focus on your personality. Sun is also going to be moving signs. Mercury is going to be in three different signs. So, of course, a lot that is happening. So, let's begin with your Lagna Lord, Jupiter, who initially, for the first 14 days, 13 days, it is making a transit in your third house. Okay. And then it is going to enter your fourth house. So, of course, it will take some time for Jupiter to deliver results, but this is overall putting you in a much comfortable position. And this Jupiter is forming a nice yoga. There are two benefits in your Kendra quadrant houses, and also momentarily three malefics. Rahu and Ketu will move out of your Kendra houses. So this is a time for you to start thinking about some important decisions that you were to make. Over the next few months, you could take some important decision pertaining to your assets, real estate, buying of a house, or a new car. You could probably start planning now, and you can have major gains if you deal with your existing real estate in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. See, Venus is your third lord and the eighth lord. Not the most benefic planet for you. It's a functional malefic, but it's transit in the ascendant and exalted state. If you remedy Jupiter, this Venus will mostly give you good results here. All right. This is something which you have to be mindful of. Mars, who is your ninth lord and also your second lord. Mars plays a very important role in finances. It is making a transit in your fifth house in a debilitated state. So future will still look a bit uncertain, but you have to stick to your dharma. This is the message of Mars. And you have to use mantras to channelize the energies of Mars. Krishna mantra. Om Klim Gopichand Vallabhaya Swaha. This is an excellent mantra for you to channelize these energies because you're strengthening the dispositor, Moon. And Moon is the planet that can bring this Mars out of debility and create Neechmanga, make it positive for you. Or use any Krishna mantra, any worship towards Lord Krishna will be helpful for you. Read Bhagavad Gita in order to channelize these energies because that helps strengthen your Mars, gives you a sense of energy and also direction. This is quite important for you. Mercury and Sun will be forming a Buddha Tithya Yoga in your second house. So quite certainly, there could be some financial karma, there could be some loans repayment because Sun is the sixth lord, making a transit in your second house, so you could repay some of your debts. Be careful of your speech and keep yourself hydrated all the time to channelize these energies. Later on, Sun and Mercury will move in your third house. Mercury is considered good in the third house, Sun is also considered to be good. So, resources are favorable when it comes to putting in certain efforts. There could be some changes in the career or profession of your spouse or your partner, some work related changes that could probably initially put them in an uncomfortable position. So, this is something which you have to watch out for. Rahu and Ketu are moving out of your ascendant and the seventh house, your 1-7 axis. Now they're going to be entering your 12 and 6 axis. So your 12 and 6 axis is getting activated. Rahu, you need to be more spiritual in order to channelize this Rahu. Otherwise, it could lead to indulgence, extravagance. It could cause issue with your sleep. So if you fix your sleep and if you bring in a sense of discipline, see, Rahu is in the 12th house, Saturn is in your first house. Saturn gains Maran Karak position in the first house. So this is where you have to ensure that you stay disciplined about your routine. You have to have a fact that, okay, if your bedtime is 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., it is by the clock, right? Come what may, you have to be there and do something. Try to keep yourself active, do some exercise to help you sail through these energies. Do yoga because anything spiritual that you do, you will be able to make it a habit. Ketu will help you overcome enemies because Ketu is your core ninth lord and it respects Jupiter. So it will help you overcome opposition, overcome energies. It is a cut, so it's going to cut the enemies. It's going to remove them from your life. And of course, you could expect certain relief from other people. And I wish you the best for the month of May. So, friends, this was my unique monthly transit report for the month of May. I hope you like this video, and of course, looking forward to bringing you more such interesting insights and videos and keeping the concepts of Vedic astrology very simple for you. Thank you very much. God bless you all.